Well, as usual, not as usual. Sometimes I'll post a video and then I'll think about it and I'll be like, some people hear me say that and they say, oh, you must have said something you didn't say, you weren't supposed to say. It's not so much what I said, but sometimes I vent a little more than I should, and I go back and I'm glad I said it, but I'm not going to post it. So, it was more about what went on this week than what went on today, and I want to focus on what went on today. Now, obviously, it's dark out now. I'm half an hour from Cleveland. We were in Napoleon, Ohio today, the Henry County Fair. I drove 4 hours and 3 minutes exactly. Last night, Tim Twaddle and his lovely family had me over for supper after the Meadows, the races at the Meadows. I went to Tim's place, had a great meal, and then I get in my car and I drove 4 hours and 3 minutes to Findlay. Now, I went to Findlay because today I woke up and I went to 3 breeding farms. I wanted to see some babies. If I'm going to be marooned here in America, then at least I can do some work while I'm here. So, for the first time in my life, I went out to the farm and looked at some babies. I saw a lot of horses I liked, but I will say this. A lot of people watch these videos. I noticed that I had said that I was going to Findlay. I was going to Hickory Lane Farms. I was going to Cool Winds. I was going to Steiner Stock Farm. Then I started getting messages. Why don't you come out to this farm? Why don't you come out to that farm? Even my old buddy, Mark Adams, was wondering when we're coming to Winterwood, which is Friday. I'm going to Winterwood on Friday. I'm going to call Mitchell Null, maybe get down to see LMN, his barn. Have to get down to see Sanina and Spring Haven at some point. But for today, I got 3 farms in. I got, as I said, Hickory Lane, Steiner Stock Farm, and Cool Winds. I just finished up with Randy at Cool Winds, and I typed in Henry County Fairgrounds in my GPS, 1 hour and 9 minutes. It was 2:30. Races start at 4. So I had to get a move on, jumped in my car, drove to Henry County Fairgrounds. Now, a number of things went on today. We'll get them racetrack by racetrack. Captain's Maid raced in the Meadows. Looks like she left. I didn't see the race yet. Looks like she left it on the 9-hole, dropped in the 2-hole. The horse in the front walked. There was some confusion. Aaron told Tim, and Tim told me that filly was great. Just had some bad luck. Okay, fine, no big deal. Some bad luck happens. It's racing. Not really how I want to see her prep for a Stallion Series event next week, but she's been running a pretty hot streak. So that happens. Then I raced Wallendown in the first race. Track was like most tracks, a little deep. I scored her down and I said to Jason, geez, you should probably punch some holes in this filly's hobbles, or we should tighten her hobbles up. They're in the tightest hole. She's a little filly. So we didn't have a hole punch. We couldn't punch them up. Not that may not have helped either. It would have helped. So, shows 3 beat 8. Line looks flat. Well, of course it is. Because it's not her actual line. She run twice. She made a break at the quarter pole. I dropped her back in the 3-hole. And coming out of the last turn, she was second along the rail, 4th on the inside, second on the inside. Made a break, come back pacing, and still beat the horse for 3rd. So you never have to question whether Wallendown's head in the game. The head is in the game. It always is in the game. Always. So she raced great, but her line was a little bit deceptive. Ron Steck asked me to drive a couple of horses. I won with a trotter in the next race for him, and then right out in the next race, and Momo got her first lifetime win. Very happy with the Momers. So, wasn't great, 1.25, 2 full seconds slower than Wallendown's division, but she did what she could. I came first over, cleared to the lead. Did she have the eye of the tiger? No. But she didn't let the 2 horses pass her that were coming to her. That's important, and I'll get to that in a minute. So Momo raced good, finished first lifetime win for her. Come out in the track with Desperado. Both colts, his division was kind of tough. They went in 2-1 and 4. He went in 2-2 and 4. Came first over. 2, 2, and 4 over a very, very deep track, last half of a minute. Good mile for Desperado, raced well, and then I come out in the track with Roy Hill. Now, Roy Hill's coming off a break at Urbana, a much better fair track than Napoleon. We pulled his hobbles in a little bit. Just going to nurse him around, see what shakes out. I get away 8 lengths off the lead coming out of the first turn. Gets through the first turn. I look up. One guy's parking and another guy. And I'm thinking to myself, I know what's going to happen here. I thought I heard them say a minute and a bit. You know, they're jawing back and forth at one another. We start into the backstretch, and I let Roy Hill sail. He went from 5th, a few lengths back, to 1st in a blink of an eye. Big move. You had to just hit pause. Be like, geez, he looked good. And then he didn't. He looked good, he cleared to the front, and then he packed it in. Pulled up a little bit on the front end. As I said in my message, he found a new way to lose today. Now, this stuff annoys me because there's so many horses work hard in the barn. Like Well and Down works and works and works and works. And then you get a horse like Roy Hill, who's like just a very good-looking horse with a ton of potential. But he just refuses to use it all. I was telling somebody, he reminds me of a filly we sold a few years ago. And this is a segue in saying somebody had asked me, can he get over that? Yeah, we can put an open bridle on him, you know, not move him till the head of the lane. But can he get over that? Maybe, yeah. So I had a filly a few years ago. We sold her to clients of ours, still clients of ours, friends of ours. Mark Treffy, Brian Hockman, Pam Schott. Roger Hanos might own a piece of her. Her name's Sunshine Inn. Very fast filly, but didn't ever really put forth a gargantuan effort on the track. She could overpower horses. If you put her in a position to win on her terms, she would win. If you put her in a position to win that would take a little extra work, she would not win. And listen, I didn't have to thumb through old scriptures to figure out how to race Roy Hill. I've raced many, many Roy Hills before as a driver. Many Roy Hills. You know, cover them up, keep them on the bit, don't show them much daylight, attack when you need to attack and when it's smart. And, you know, I put Roy Hill in a position to be a good horse again today, and he chose not to. He chose to be an average, mediocre animal. And racing has lots of those, right? It's frustrating, it's upsetting, but I guess back to the $1 million question, can he grow out of it? Maybe. If he doesn't, he'll grow out of this stable. I can guarantee you that. So, next time we race Roy Hill, it'll likely be in an open bridle. I'll cover him up as long as I can. We'll see how he races. I used to have, actually, you know, I'll tell you another story. I had a mare along the same lines. Probably one of my favorite horses to race, but you had to race her like that. Her name, very, very similar now that I think of it out loud. Her name was Something Frilly. And I raced her in Ottawa when I lived in Ottawa. Raced her in Toronto. Raced her in Flamborough. She ended up being a good mare for us. And she would pull up. If you cleared early like that, she'd pull up. You had to move her in the last turn, and once she cleared horse in the last turn, she wouldn't scream away from them, but rarely would they come and beat her. Yeah, but you had to drive her like that. If you moved her down the backstretch, if you put her on the front, if you moved her first over, she just wouldn't race. So there's lots of Roy Hills out there in all different shapes and sizes. He could turn a page, he could turn a corner anytime and decide that he's going to be the best Roy Hill he can be. That's a scary Roy Hill. I just don't know if it'll ever happen. So we're going to race the Roy Hill that we have right now. We're going to race him. I'm going to race him the best that I can, knowing his weaknesses and his few strengths. I'm going to do what I can to put him in a position to win on his terms and see if we can't get a lifetime mark on Roy Hill and get him moving forward. So that was Napoleon. I watched Woodbine. Knockdown Dragout was 4th. I don't want to ramble. Knockdown Dragout was 4th. And then I watched Georgian Downs, a horse that really, another horse that surprised the hell out of me today. Well, and surprised the hell out of me this year. was so admirable. Horse that we thought was okay training down. Everybody liked her. She wasn't a killer. She was an okay filly. She raced huge again. Tight filly off a month. You know, went out. Travis got stuck in a bad spot in the first turn. Bad spot in the first turn. Had to clear to the lead. You only get pushed 30 seconds. So that's good. The favorite, or one of the favorites, removed to the front. Removed to the front. He sat in the 2-hole, 59-1. 128-4, I think, a mile, 57-3, something like that. She raced huge, finished second. Yeah, she could have won if she was tight, but Kevin had her as tight as he could, but she's been off almost a month. She was sick. So once again, he did a great job getting the horses ready to race tonight. I see Cruising in Style. The mile didn't work out. I tuned in past the half, and he was somehow first over. I thought it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I didn't catch the first part, but somebody filled me in, missed the gate, and it's a frustrating race. But Travis has been driving great for us all year, so you know, Cruising can be a little tough to deal with right away if you don't know him. It's hard to put a horse right on the gate at Georgian Downs, so maybe Travis was just trying to time him in and missed it. I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet. Nevertheless, he finished 5th. We'll turn the page and we'll move on, so we're going to have to. So I do have videos ready for you. I'm going to send them out tonight, the yearling videos I did. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people watch these videos, so I got to be careful what I say. If you want to know my top 3, top 5 horses, I'm happy to tell you. I do have 2 or 3 that really caught my eye that I have circled in my book, and I'm going to be looking at again. And they might end up coming home with us. Who knows? So in that regard, thank you everybody again. You continue to pour in emails telling me what you'd like to do. We do have a group of people that are willing to put up some money to buy a little more expensive horse this year, and rather than focus on New York, Pennsylvania, or anywhere else, I'm going to focus on Ohio. I'd rather spend 60 or 70 in Ohio than even think about spending 6 figures in Pennsylvania at this point. So we'll see what shapes up with that. I have not secured the colt I was talking about yet. We already have about 65% of them spoken for, but I'm still waiting to hear back from the breeder if they want to sell them. And we'll see if that comes to fruition. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's that. So, today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, I'm not doing anything tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, we have the sale, big sale for a hoof bid. We had a number of people contacting me, asking me about the horses. And as I said to the people asking, you know, they're nice horses. They're in the sale for a reason. I'm not going to give them away. But if the timing's not right to sell them, then we won't sell them. The timing's right, the timing's right. So we'll know tomorrow night. If none of them sell, it will be disappointing. But as I said to one of our clients, I'm not giving any of them away. You know, I'll sell our horses for fair market value, same as we buy them for fair market value. So that's where we are with that. I'm interested to see what will happen with Emerald Miss tomorrow. Jason said a couple of people came to the barn today asking about Emerald Miss. I assume she'll race good. If you're one of those people out there, I'm sure she'll race good tomorrow, and she'll sell an hour later, more than likely. So Emerald Miss is a filly I'm going to keep a close eye on sale night, because I like her. I don't think she'll be overpowered in that class at Northfield, which means she's probably worth pretty good money. So we'll see. What else? Friday, I'm going to Winterwood, down around the Columbus area at some point. I'm also going to drop by LMN Stables, Mitchell Nault's outfit, Midland Acres. Go see Sanina at Spring Haven also. So lots to look at. I'm going to have lots of time over the next 2 weeks to look at some babies and bring you guys some more videos. Take a look at the ones I posted today. Circle them. Make a note. Some of the ones are a little expensive. They're going to go for pretty decent money, I think. A couple of What the Hills I looked at. But there are some horses in there that I'm very, very interested in. So, as I said, keep the emails coming. Much appreciated. And I will keep bringing them to you. So that's it for today. I guess not an awesome day. Our only winner was Momo. Big Momers. But The other 3 horses in Napoleon were adequate. I thought Well and Down did well. Need to tinker with her equipment. I thought Desperado raced well, and I thought Roy Hill did not. But they all finished third. Momo was a winner. I had another first and third other than that. And I got to watch So Admirable race good again. So, tomorrow we have a bunch of horses racing at Northfield Park. We have the fillies, Compass Rose DC, spend that money. Rooney Blue Chip, I can't believe I'm saying that. Rooney Blue Chip looks, he's 7-2 morning line. I haven't seen the lines on the horse 6-5 from the rail. But Rooney Blue Chip looked great in his qualifier. He looks good tomorrow. Emerald Miss is also in tomorrow. Busy night tomorrow. Friday night we get the big girls in Scioto. It's just non-stop action all week long. I did omit one other thing tonight. That's My Girl made a break tonight. Made a break tonight in Indiana. Very, very disappointing for my partners on That's My Girl. This filly raced good her first start. Looked like she was going to be first or second last week and made a break going into the first turn tonight. Didn't look comfortable. I'm going to be talking to Doug about that. Now, I told everybody I'm going to try and drive her next week. I don't know if I can. So, full disclosure, this is what it'll take for Anthony McDonald to drive That's My Girl next week. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to take a drink of water. It's going to be something. For me to drive That's My Girl next week, you're hearing it first. Not many people know this. Globetrotting is going to race at the Meadows next Tuesday. That will be her prep race for the final of the Ohio Sire Stakes. Very important day. We have a number of other horses racing on Tuesday at the Meadows. I looked, even though even I have a little trepidation about flying at the moment. I know I read up on it the other day, and shockingly enough, the airlines posted an article saying that a very minuscule amount of people contract COVID-19 from flights. Don't know about that, but whatever. There's no flights from Washington to Indiana that can get me there on time. The reason being, Indianapolis International Airport is 1 hour and 5 minutes by car to Anderson, Indiana. I looked. So, the only possible way on this earth, unless somebody has the Batmobile, a helicopter, a private plane, a cop car, a time travel machine, the only way that I can get to Anderson, Indiana is to rent a car in Pittsburgh. First, I have to ask the race secretary at the Meadows to get all of our horses that are important to us, which is, I don't know how many yet, in before 3 p.m. I wouldn't if I was him. Let's assume he does. I can rent a car, drive 4 hours and 45 minutes. Now, I say this because it's a 5-hour drive, assuming I don't have to stop and my tank of gas is enough. I can drive directly to Anderson, Indiana. But I will need the race secretary in Anderson, Indiana to put That's My Girl in late, which they've been doing anyway. I don't know why, but all the stake races go late. Somebody told me why, but I forget. It's something to do with the claimers and the race out. Anyway, I don't know. If I can get done by 3 p.m. at the Meadows, get in my rental car that I can drop off at the International Airport in Indianapolis, I will drive all the way to Anderson, Indiana. Get out of the car, get on the bike, drive That's My Girl, get in my car, my rental car, drive to the Indianapolis airport, 1 hour and 5 minutes away. Stay in a hotel very close by to the Indianapolis airport. Catch the 8:30 flight from Indianapolis International Airport. I've said that a lot now. Catch that flight. I can be back at the Meadows for 11 a.m., which makes me 45 minutes early to sign in for the races on Wednesday afternoon. When they're over, I will then get in my car. I don't have my rental anymore. Remember, I dropped that off at the airport in Indianapolis. Said it again. I will get in my car and drive to Northfield Park and race Wednesday evening. I'll be tired, but I will go to bed. Thursday I will get up and I will go to Dublin Valley stud farm to look at babies in Dublin Valley. So that is what is possible for next week. A lot of people may say it's not worth it. It most definitely is worth it. You get out what you put in this game. I say it all the time. It isn't just a slogan. It's the truth. Most definitely is worth it. She's going to race for $27,000 or $28,000. She's coming off 2 breaks. We need to get this filly back on track. You think my partners, that I know of for sure, Marco, sitting in Montreal, Brian, sitting in Illinois, saying, oh, don't worry about it, Anthony. Let Doug or somebody else drive the filly. Really? I can't be everywhere unless I can be everywhere. So my promise from me to you, Marco, Brian, and everybody else that owns that filly with me, John, Jim, number of other people, Mike, if it is humanly possible for me to be there, if I can get the horses in before 3 p.m. in Washington, if I can rent a car, if I can take that car back to the airport in Indianapolis, I will drive 5 hours if the race secretary in Anderson, Indiana, Hoosier Park, can put the filly in late. If all those things fall into place, my promise to you is I will be there. I will drive there, I will drive the filly, and I will come back to the Meadows. So, big week next week. So we'll see what shakes down and what takes place after Friday. We'll know what the draw looks like for Hoosier Park, if the filly is in late, if the horses can get in early here, if I can rent a car, if they will let me take it back in Indy. I'll be there. All right, so that's enough for tonight. Not all good news. Cruising in Style got roughed up a bit. That happens. The one thing I can tell you about Cruising with Style, he's got a short memory. I'm sure he'll bounce back great next week. Roy Hill, a bit disappointing. He was third. I'm going to continue to make some equipment changes on him. I'm going to change the way I drive him. See if we can't get him into the winner's circle in 2020 and get him on track at some point. So Admirable was good. Momo was good. So let's leave it with that. A decent day today. I got to look at a lot of really nice babies. I got to spend some time at the fairs again, and a little bit of luck came our way. So, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. It was a decent day today. It is 9:46. I will be in my home away from home at the La Quinta, Macedonia. I'll be there in just 10 minutes. Talk to you guys soon. I hope you had a decent day. I did. A little stressful, a little busy. That's the world we live in. Talk to you soon. Take care.